all values. Now real means the following. Real could mean that you have two real roots, like this, where I just drag this across. See the way it hits it twice in two different positions? That means two distinct real roots. The other thing that could also happen is it can touch it once, can't it? In which case we say that both roots are equal to each other, all right? So it qualifies that b squared minus 4ac would be greater than or equal to 0, because you have to include equal roots and real roots. Does that make sense? All right. Let's establish what a, b, and c are here. A value, 1. B value, c value is actually 2 minus c squared. It's what comes at the end without the x's in it. Insert it into b squared minus 4ac. So you're going to get minus 3 squared minus 4 times 1 times c. Greater than or equal to 0. Let's see if we can figure this out. That's 9, no bother. That's going to be a minus 4 that's going to be minus 8 plus 4c squared. Is that okay? Now we're about to prove that this is definitely positive. 1 is definitely positive, isn't it? Why is 1 definitely positive? There's no variable, is there? 1 is 1. And 4 times a guaranteed positive number, what does that mean? 1 plus 4 times a guaranteed positive number will always be positive. Okay? So sometimes what I tend to do is I just write down positive, always positive. Yeah? I'd have to see a modern marking scheme. We used to have to spell it out for them. So if you remember to spell it out, great. But if you don't, you might be running the risk that they could alter the marking scheme that year. Okay? So they used to like us to spell it out for them. Sorry. All right. Any questions on this one? Question 10. If it has equal roots, it means that the quadratic equation has only touched it once. Okay, just touches it once. Equal roots means the roots are equal. A is k minus 2. B is 2k plus 1. C is k. So let's figure this out. 2k plus 1 to be squared minus 4 times k minus 2 times k. All right, when you square that out, you should get 4k squared plus 4k plus 1. Everyone understands I multiply 2k plus 1 by 2k plus 1 to get that, yeah? All right. Next thing you're going to do is I'm going to multiply the 4 by the k to get minus 4k. And then I'm going to multiply that by k minus 2. I'm going to get minus 4k squared. And what's it? Minus 8k. Plus 8k, thank you. All right. The 4k squareds cancel. I get 1 plus 12k equals 0. And then this means that 12k equals minus 1 and k equals minus 1/12. Anybody else get minus 1/12? We're good. All right, let's move on. All right, question 12. Whoop, wrong exercise. There we are. It has equal roots. Express a in terms of b. Hence, write down the root of the equation in terms of b. Equal roots. So what does that generally mean? B squared minus 4ac equals a equals a, b equals b, plus c will have to equal 1. So b squared minus 4 times a times 1 equals 0. B squared equals 2a. Sorry, b squared equals 4a. It wants a in terms of b. So a in terms of b is b squared over 4. Is that all right? All good so far? All right. We're just going to start at a equals b squared over 4 over here. Now, it wants the actual roots. So what does that mean? When it wants the actual roots. You got to do the minus b formula. Minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, good news though, minus b is still minus b, plus or minus b squared is still b squared. Now, what adjustments can I make to the question at the very beginning? It'll want me to make some adjustments here. Anybody aware what adjustments I'm going to be making? I'm going to be not putting in any a's. Why am I not putting in any a's? Yeah, it wants it in terms of b only, so to me that means get rid of the a's, so I'm going to be putting b squared over 4 in here instead. Is that all right? Then over here, we already know it has equal roots, don't we? And because it has equal roots, what does that mean? This part here has to be 0. If it's equal roots, there's not two distinctly different answers, so I already know it's going to be equal to 0, but you might as well spell it out. You're going to have a b squared minus a b squared, and that turns out to be 0. So it's minus b plus or minus the square root of 0 all over, what's a b squared over 2? Now finally, what's b divided by b squared over 2? Then we get an answer of minus 2 over b. All right, just one lad.